Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me on day 2 of my deep clean, extreme clean with me. We are going to be focusing on the kitchen, the hallway, the half bath today. I wasn't anticipating to have the kitchen take as much time as it did, but it did. It took a couple of hours, but I'm really happy I got it done. So I hope that you enjoy this video. If you do like this type of content, consider subscribing or giving a thumbs up, and I do have part 1 linked down below for those of you who missed it. So we are starting off in the kitchen. I'm scrubbing down the walls. We do a lot of cooking obviously in the kitchen. We do use our stove. We're not a family who orders out a ton, but we also, I have a pet cockatiel. We light a lot of candles, so that grease and grime does build up on the wall. And I can't remember the last time I cleaned the kitchen walls or really behind the coffee bar. As you guys are going to see, there's a lot of crumbs, especially having a toddler. Things, toys, puffs, everything gets everywhere, so this was much needed. So in addition to cleaning the walls, cleaning, the floors, the usual, I'm also wiping down the doors that lead to the deck, just because there's a lot of fingerprints, there's a lot of just stuck on dirt that needed to be cleaned. So at this point, I'm moving on to the doors and the rest of the kitchen walls and stuff like that. I do find the doors, for whatever reason, because they're white, they do pick up on a lot of dirt, or if if you're dealing with anything outside, or if you have sticky fingers, as my son usually does, it ends up on the door. So it's something that we wipe down fairly often, not just during the deep cleans. I would say once a week we're either spraying the doorknobs with Lysol, and that's even pre-COVID. That's something I got in the habit of doing. But definitely wiping down the doors, disinfecting them, the doorknobs is so important, especially for my husband and I. We work in healthcare. I'm more hands-on than he is, and then my son at the daycare. I mean, on a good day prior to COVID, you're picking up a ton of germs and illnesses, never mind with COVID. I feel like it's just everything is magnified. So we try and disinfect as much as we can during the week, but definitely giving everything a good scrub, a good deep clean was so needed. So with the fridge, I'm using the pink stuff on the fridge with a microfiber cloth and then following that up with glass cleaner. It's a tip I saw somewhere on YouTube. It's just to help clean everything and then make it extra shiny. It seems to work really well with our fridge. I also use it on the microwave, the dishwasher, the stove, anything that's stainless steel. It's a pretty neat hack. It's worked really well for us. I wasn't feeling the pink stuff at first, but I will say I think it does a fairly good job on the stainless steel appliances. So here I'm wiping down a lot of the cabinets. Now typically I would say if you guys have Murphy's oil or anything like that, to throw that in with some warm soapy water and really hit those cabinets, especially right above the stove. They accumulate the most dirt, the most grease, and especially right on top of the cabinets. Now I didn't clean that today. That's going to be a project for another day because literally I need like a scraper. I hate to say that, but if you're not in the habit of cleaning on top of your cabinets regularly, and I know a lot of people aren't, you're going to notice that it is a thick buildup of grease, especially if you're somebody who uses your stove often like we do. So definitely something you want to keep in mind if you're doing a deep clean. Carve out some time for on top of the cabinets or to really wash your cabinets. Probably this summer I'm going to take things out of the cabinets and wash the insides. That'll be a project for another day. But deep cleaning the main essentials was so important to me today, so I'm glad I got that done. So on this day in particular, there were a few dishes left to do. Not too many, but as you can see, I'm also throwing in parts of the stove in there, the racks and stuff like that to give it a good clean, as well as the griddle part of the stove. So all of that is being sprayed down with the pink stuff in addition to some of the goop. I don't know what it's called, the pink goop, like the the little scrubbing portion of it. So we use that with a Scrub Daddy brush and Scrub Mommy brush, either or. I have both. So using that to really get a good deep clean on the stove and the surrounding racks was really important to me because there was a lot of built up grease and just baked on foods that needed to come off. So the stove itself took me quite a bit of time to really scrub down. It's not something I've deep cleaned or cleaned in a very long time, I hate to say. And I mean, you can see it. There's no hiding that. That's a real life mess right there. But I'm glad I was able to get in there. I just wasn't expecting the amount of elbow grease I had to put into it. But I do want to deep clean the inside of the stove at some point, definitely while my son is out of the house and where I can ventilate. Where we had a 60-degree day that day that I was cleaning the stove, so it definitely would have been the perfect day to do it. I just didn't have the easy off that most people use to do the deep clean. But spring is coming, so I'll be able to do that when my son is at daycare, or when I have a day off, or maybe the weekend. I'll use the easy off for the stove and just let you know how that works. I've heard amazing things. I've also heard that it's easier to preheat the oven to 200 degrees. If anybody's done a deep clean of their oven or they use that setting on the oven, let me know down below and let me know what worked well for your stove. So that there was the finished product of the stove. Overall, I think it looked really, really well. I don't know, I thought it was pretty clean as I'm gonna get it, and my husband and I were talking a little bit after filming, after he saw like the amount of work that went into it. We're definitely gonna try and keep a schedule to keep on top of the stove and to keep on top of the showers. Now the showers are not featured in this video, that's gonna be in the upcoming one, but it was just, that one is a hot mess. It was bad. And we're just going to get into the habit. I've seen a few YouTubers and cleaning hacks who say, you know, keep your cleaning supplies nearby or clean it while you're in the shower. And that concept never dawned on me. So I am going to try it and let you know how it works. I have a feeling that that's going to be my new thing every Friday. Just give it a quick scrub after we're done. And we're going to try and do the same with the stove. Every Friday or every Saturday, really go in there, clean it up, scrape off what needs to be scraped off. This way it doesn't turn into the mess that it was in this video.
I bet you think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you, and that we're good the way we are. But I don't know that much about you, what things you like and what you don't. It's not that long since I met you for the first time. You know we should work it out. You know we should work it out. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? And will you let me down? I know I'm feeling something for you, the way you look, the way you act.
So of course I have to wipe down the countertops as well, and the backsplash. The backsplash is something we hope to replace in the future. The original owners, I don't think they put it in correctly. I think they used cement. One of our contractors who was helping us out with doors and a few other things in the house had noticed that as well. So that's definitely something we plan to replace in the future. I'm not a big fan of subway tile. I know a lot of people love it. I just personally, it just reminds me of a bathroom. So I don't like seeing it in the kitchen, and to be quite frank, I don't like seeing it anywhere. If I was going to choose a different pattern, I'd probably choose a herringbone pattern, and I'm not sure what color, because the kitchen we'd like to redo. Not in the near future, that's going to be quite an expense, so that's going to be down the line. But we're going to make it look quite different. But for now, we just kind of keep up with what we need to keep up with. And what I will say, to the credit for the subway tile, it is extremely easy to clean, so that much I'm a fan of.
Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? And will you let me down? Before I'm too invested, you should take it easy. Maybe we could test this and work out our feelings. Baby, will I love you? Tell me, do you want me? And will you let me down?
So I don't know about anybody else. Does anybody else just throw everything on the kitchen table when they get home, or does it just accumulate a ton of junk? I hate to say that that's what happens in our home, but it does. So clearing off the table was necessary. I put a few things on the stairs to bring upstairs and just really wiping it down. I did use the Mrs. Myers for this. It tends to do a decent job when it's not something that's ridiculously dirty or really soiled. If it is, I tend to go with my Clorox products, or things of that nature, more heavy duty. But for the table, the Mrs. Myers works out just fine. And then I can finally break out the vacuum cleaner because all my surfaces have been cleaned, they've been disinfected, so all the crummies are on the floor, so I can get to vacuuming.
You know we should work it out. You know we should work it out. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? And will you let me down? I know I'm feeling something for you. The way you look, the way you laugh, and how you move. It kinda makes me go crazy. But we should take it slow, work things out so you don't let me go. When I come real close, I don't wanna get hurt, 'cause I'm not ready to give you my heart yet. Before I'm too invested.
So the last thing I tend to do in the kitchen when I'm totally done with cleaning everything is wash the floors. So I'm using my Swiffer Wet Jet, just giving everything a good scrub. I didn't have too much baked on stuff on the floor or anything that was really tough to get off, so that was nice, where I could just go in and just do a quick pass on the floor.
Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions. Get to know
So next we're moving on into the hallway. Now the hallway is not a huge chunk of the home, but we do have some very, very tall walls, tall ceilings, so I would need an extender brush to really get up there and clean, and that's going to be a purchase for myself in the future, so I can just go on the stairs and clean the walls leading all the way up to the ceiling. But for now I can get the main hallway, so that doesn't get ridiculously dirty. Really the floors is what picks up the most dirt because people are coming through the front door or they're walking from the kitchen to the hall so they can put their coats and stuff away. So just giving this a nice scrub as always. I really feel like cleaning the walls. It just, you notice a huge difference. It feels light, feels airy. Even if it's just some warm soapy water, or if you have fabuloso, pine sol, or whatever you use to add in for a nice scent, I would definitely do that in springtime at least once or twice a year.
about you. And that we're good the way we are. But I don't know that much about you. What things you like and what you don't. It's not that long. Since I met
So of
you
course, as
for
I'm
the
moving
first
furniture,
time.
I found a puff, courtesy of my son, because he puts food everywhere. He does tend to hide it sometimes too. I think that one just got brushed to the side. But moving the furniture is so important. Something we do often, as you guys probably saw in the previous video with the living room, that we kind of just we redecorated a little bit, but moving it out, getting all the crumbs or other food and things that might be hidden underneath, especially if you've not done this in a while and you're heading into springtime or summertime, the anticipation of ants. Just be ready if you have food laying around. So try and be on top. I know for my husband and I, we definitely want to invest in a Roomba. Probably in the next few months, I would say. Hopefully by the end of the year we have one, but I think that's going to help us out a ton, especially when my son is in stage. Everything ends up on the floor while he's practicing with his utensils during, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's food that ends up on the floor that we try and pick up, but there's always crumbs and stuff we don't see. So I think a Roomba would definitely be a great help.
I don't wanna get hurt, 'cause I'm not ready to give you my heart yet. Before I'm too invested, I should
So of course, it never fails. I am putting away the boots and getting rid of that little tray we keep by the front door. So it's typically when we've gone out to shovel or things like that. If it's been rainy, we kind of add the shoes there. I go put them away, and forecasted for Friday, today, probably when the video uploads, we're supposed to be getting a storm. So I have to go lug that back upstairs from the cellar, get the boots and everything back out over there. So that should be a good time. It never fails. The minute I put something away, same with the snowblower, it was always like a joke in my family. The minute we go and put it away in the shed, here comes a snowstorm. So we would leave it in the garage until like mid-April when we were sure we're not getting any more snow. Does that happen to anybody else? Like you have those little things, you go and put something away and then you instantly need it. It never fails.
Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you.
So after cleaning up the last wall, I do go ahead and just vacuum the hallway. Again, it's not a big area, so it didn't take me long at all, and then just giving it a quick wash. During this time, I didn't catch it on video, I actually reset my doorbell as well. So we bought a doorbell that has a few different, I want to call it a ringtone, it's not, but a few different tones. So there's one for Halloween, there's one for Christmas. I still had it set to New Year's, so I'm thankful nobody's rang my doorbell in a while, because they'd probably say, oh my god, this girl is on delay. So we just put it back to the regular doorbell. But I just think it's a cool feature, something fun to do. There's a happy birthday one, of course, that I forgot to set for my husband on his birthday, but I plan to use it for the upcoming birthdays if people are over, and just add a little whimsy to our lives. Why not?
Calm down.
so we're moving on to the little guest bathroom, powder room, half bath. This is attached right that door in the hallway, so it's really nice. It's a really small bathroom, but it gets the job done, so nobody has to go upstairs or anything like that. We really haven't changed too much in there. There's a pedestal sink that we'd like to trade out and just put in like a regular sink with hopefully some cabinets, so we have some storage in there to put the toilet paper and just make it a little bit more of a compact space. I don't like having things on top of the toilet or to the sides. Just something for me. I like to have it stored away so it doesn't look as busy. But this toilet wasn't horrendously dirty. It definitely needed a good cleaning, and for that I did use the Clorox wipes. That's usually my go-to to wipe down the toilet, especially where to me it kills and disinfects where it needs to for the bacteria, but it also does a great job cleaning. Now I know some people don't like the smell. It doesn't bother me as much, but certainly if I really need something deep clean, that's usually my go-to product. So after wiping down the sink, cleaning the walls, everything is vacuumed, and I just give it a quick wash and we're good. So it's nice because it dries a little bit quicker. We do have a fan in this bathroom, so it never takes long for the floor to dry, and it's very little maintenance for this type of bathroom. So for that, I am very thankful. It takes me no time at all. If I ever need to choose a bathroom to clean, it's going to be this one on the first floor because it's the quickest. So you guys will notice in my living room, I have my pajamas on. It's because I ended up cleaning this late at night. I was done for cleaning for the day, and then I figured, you know what, it's not going to take too much time because we just literally moved everything around the day prior. So we had cleaned this whole section. It wasn't too dirty. The floors were fairly decent, especially in that back corner, so that's why you don't see me get to it. I had cleaned the walls, and all of that was off camera, so I felt pretty good about it. But I did give it a nice dusting just yet again because there was a lot of movement that day and dust just tends to rise. But in terms of the floor and the carpet, it really wasn't that bad. So for that, I'm thankful. But I definitely wanted to get it done today, just have it off my plate so the whole first floor in its entirety was done. What I will say, even though I dusted the day prior, the fireplace was a hot mess yet again with a ton of dust. Because we do use the electric fireplace function as well, and just with all the movement with the TV, my husband's gaming system, it just attracts a ton of dust. So keeping on top of this at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, I think is necessary. And I finally got to give the fireplace glass doors a good cleaning and needed it. For that, I just used Windex. My son loves this little fireplace. His hands are constantly on it, the doors, opening the doors, shutting them, slamming on it. So it was very important to get it cleaned, and it just looks nice. You don't see all the streakage and wondering what the heck is on there. Is that peanut butter? It's nice.
아침에 눈을 뜨자마자 느낀 설레임 Blossoming 향기로운 달콤한 햇볕에 노인거리는 꽃 같아 다 보고 싶지 않는데 말하고 싶지 않아
Alrighty, so this brings us to the end of my day 2 extreme clean. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you join me for my third installation. It's the final part. It will be the upstairs cleaned in its entirety. Thank you so much for being here. Again, if I can help motivate you or inspire you to get something done, or if you're like me and you like to watch these videos while drinking a coffee, some tea, or a glass of wine, that's all good too. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay well. Bye.